Hello everybody, and welcome back to Dungeons and Dragons the Second Age. How are we all?
So great.
Well,
Good,
we're
good.
having a party.
Excellent.
We're so happy. You can just feel the joy in the Discord room.
Wow.
Jeez.
So, before we start today's session, does anyone want to remind me of what happened last time?
We did a lot of talking.
You did do a lot of talking.
I found out that I have a little brother.
Yep.
Should we go from the beginning?
No.
No
So we
chronological.
got back from the Shadowfell,
Yes.
and we ended up in like the middle of Silverbrook Hall, and everyone was just
Yes.
like, "What the fuck?"
Indeed.
Until they realized it was us, and then they were just like, "Oh yeah, they're back." And then we were just like, "Yeah, we did it, bro."
Yeah.
That's
And
literally exactly how
Illiran's
the
sister.
conversation went. That's how the conversation went exactly.
Exactly. And
Exactly
Illiran's
like
sister
that.
was there, and she was like, "Y'all are so great that I want everyone to know that you're great. So I'm gonna get people to give you medals and shit." And Illiran was like, "Hell no," and we were just like, "Hell yes."
That was exactly how that conversation went.
Yes. I'm
God.
paraphrasing.
God, we have very good memories today. We're remembering everything that was said, word for word.
And then we went to, well, we had some talks, and Arya went to make like a little grave for Alwyn.
Yes.
And then she got back to that grave, and there was signs of someone being there, but I guess we'll never know because Arya failed her check really bad.
Yeah.
I did.
The only thing he found
Yep.
was a single feather.
I wonder
Yep.
who that could have been from.
I don't know.
I guess it was
We'll
just a
never
bird,
know.
you know.
Yeah,
Just a random bird
Just-
flying
just a
by.
bird.
Tiny bird royalty. And then we went to the capital because Helena wanted us to be there.
Yeah.
And then we hung around in the capital for a while, and we did a lot of buying shit.
Yes. Now you have a whole
Did we
bunch of
ever
empty
pick
gear.
Did we ever
Kelariis
pick all
now
the
has
armor up?
full plate.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, did you say? What did you say?
I asked if we ever picked all of that stuff up.
Yes, you did.
Okay, cool.
So Kelariis
yeah,
gets
now
his
we
badass
have
full plate. I've got a
upgraded
magic
stuff.
shield and some splint armor. Did we buy anything else? I think that's all we bought, wasn't it?
I got new clothes.
Oh yeah, you got new clothes. We did a lot of selling shit as well.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
sold all that
Rich.
stuff in our inventory that had gold value,
Yep.
like the paintings and some mugs and shit.
And
Yeah.
like gems.
400 gold.
Yeah, lots of
400 gold
gems.
worth of gems. Yeah.
Luckily, but however, must stress, we did not sell the diamonds.
No,
We did not sell the diamonds.
They are not to be sold.
need those.
And then we went to the ceremony where we got like medals and shit for being great, being heroes.
Yeah.
And
And the
then
medals.
Rob didn't actually send me all the things that
Oh,
were
I didn't.
said.
No.
Oh, Rob.
Bro.
It's fine. It's fine. Ifalkir was sort of like, he was like telling us like stuff, and Arya was told that her mom and dad were here. Because he was like, "You brought my son back to me, and that's nice, and I want your parents to feel the same way." So I kind of like ringed them up and stuff.
And I was like, what?
Yeah, and Arya was like, "What?"
Word for
And
word.
she got basically brought upstairs, and there was like a tiny boy who also looks like Arya and is her brother.
Yes.
And
It
he's
was
like
a
a toddler.
tiny elf.
He's very tiny.
It's not that tiny.
He's very
Ti-
tiny.
Tinier than Grim.
He's small.
I don't know about that actually.
Oh. Oh. Are you telling me an elf toddler is bigger than a gnome?
I mean, it wouldn't be that much of a stretch.
Well, not taller than, similar size too.
Oh boy.
Oh, sorry, Grim.
Anyway, then we had some talks. Oh yeah, we touched a tree as well.
Yes.
Same tree that we
Yeah.
touched before.
Stealthily this time.
Stealthily.
You touched the tree and thought about someone to find that they were thinking about you as well.
Wow, that's
Ooh.
almost romantic.
Hmm.
Almost.
Wow.
That's it. That's the new ship.
Oh. Well, maybe. I don't know.
We'll find out.
Girlfriends of life and death? Sure.
Yep.
I think that's it.
Yeah,
Did you do anything else then?
you basically ended the session having a meal with Arya's family. Then you went back to various rooms to sleep. with the intention of regrouping tomorrow and deciding what it is that you wanted to do. As Arya was considering the proposition from her parents to go back home and spend some time at home. And that is where our story begins. Capital city. So, all awaken, feeling refreshed, and presumably you regroup somewhere in town. Where would you like to regroup? I guess you would regroup. You'd probably actually regroup in the market district to pick up your armor and weapons, because I guess it would only just be being finished.
Huzzah! Let's formally pick up the armor and weapons.
Right.
Yeah, now we're elven aristocracy, so we can be like,
You're not quite elven aristocracy. You are held in the same regard as.
We have the same political power as, kind of.
Sort of, yes.
Yeah, I guess we just sort of regroup in the market district.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the discussion to be had is, what do you want to do now?
That's a good question.
V's just sort of waiting for the cure to be finished, I guess.
Yeah, you're waiting to receive word from Buck and Lily. But yeah, the reason I put this to you is because Arya was given the opportunity to go home, but never voiced it to the rest of you whether you wanted to come. So.
Y'all want to go to the Feywild? I don't even know what we're doing there, but apparently we're going there.
Yeah.
We might be gone for months, but only have it be a week.
Possible.
Or the other way around.
Or the other way around, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, isn't that a little bit worrying for V? Like, because she wants to sort of be there and wait for word.
Well, you. Whilst you are sort of aware of the time difference, it may also help the time pass quicker, and you're not going to miss the message, because they will presumably send the message via magic.
Alright.
So you will be able to receive it wherever you go.
Okay.
And if you're worried about it, actually, you could ask Helena to get in contact with you, because she can literally just hop between the planes at will.
Yep.
Though admittedly only to planes that she's been to, but she has been to the Feywild, so.
Yeah. Okay, well then V's on board with going wherever.
That's the point. Isn't it really, really awkward to get to the Feywild?
No.
No.
No one actually knows where you get in. No?
No, we know.
Oh, I thought it was.
Only those who have ever travelled to or from the Feywild know where the gates are. But you have one of those people.
Fair enough.
Hello.
Well, technically, you have 3 of those people.
Yeah.
You'd be going with her parents.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I think this would also be of interest to you, Kelariis, because your research has turned up nothing. But if there's anybody with a more accurate history of the universe than the High Elves, it would be the Moon Elves.
Well, I'm on board regardless, so that's even better.
Okay.
Same.
Well.
I'll go where everyone else is going.
Okay. So I guess you go back to the Imperial District. You speak to Arya's parents and say, yes, we'd love to accompany you back to the Feywild for a short time. And yeah, they basically need like a day or two to get packed up and get ready to go because they obviously have to make preparations. They're not adventurers. They can't just like wander around in the forest by themselves.
God, this is why I left home. You guys are so slow.
Yeah, so you have a day or two to do stuff. If there's anything left you want to do, otherwise we can just time skip. If nobody says anything, I'm going to assume we're going to time skip.
Yeah, I can't think of anything.
Okay.
Let's do the time warp.
In that case, I didn't have you guys deduct anything for your lodgings for the last couple of days, so make it 5 days of lodgings at a gold per person per night, so 5 gold each.
Oh god, guys, I've only got 491 gold left.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Shit.
You might go broke anytime now.
Oh god, yeah, I know. Jeez.
Well,
They're driving me out of business with these prices.
you've got there's plenty of opportunities for your gold costs per week to go up, and I'm expecting you to take use of them, but not quite now. But yes. So yeah, it takes you thing for the travel. Actually, I'll just take you to the capital roadmap. Cool. I don't know where the map marker is, but you guys are basically at the top, in Argentoland.
Oh jeez.
Ooh, robots.
Everyone's turned into a robot.
Yeah, there is a lot of roboting. Right, okay, well I guess we'll take a brief break while we sort this out. And we're back. Sorry about that brief little interruption.
Everything.
Everyone turned into robots.
Yeah,
Except
everybody.
Cav.
Everyone apart from me.
Everyone
became a
except
robot.
Cav turned into robots, and then Discord just quit itself. So
I don't know if you're. I don't know if you're still your people again. Though you might still be robots. You might have just mastered human speak.
yeah,
We've all been murdered and
something
replaced
along
by
those
robots.
lines.
This is the age of the machine now.
So, you guys leave Argentalerand, and it doesn't take you a very long time, probably just under a day, with your travel plans. Your Arya, your parents, basically hire a carriage for the group of you.
Oh, that's
Our horses are still in Silverbrook.
Your horses are still in Silver.
Classic.
When you
Mine
did
is
teleport
fine.
here, it would have been hard to bring them.
Yeah. I don't think they would have appreciated teleporting a horse inside the academy.
Jayla just going, mine isn't though.
I know, yeah.
I can bring mine wherever.
Jayla's is literally in her back pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't take you very long to travel to a small enchanted glade within the forest, where you enter a patch of trees, and I'd like all of you to make me Arcana checks. With the exception of Arya, because Arya doesn't actually need to make this. Because you have experienced this phenomena before.
Phenomena.
Do.
Phenomena.
Okay, so V and Vondal, you recognize this phenomena for what it is. As you sort of enter this grove, you almost you feel the sensation of a light summer's wind passing through the trees, except it's the middle of autumn. And as you get deeper and deeper into this grove, the air around you becomes warm, and there's an almost fragrant sense on the wind. And as you approach the middle of this grove, you encounter two great trees that have grown almost in the shape of an arch until they are touching each other and are actually entwined within each other. And as you look between these trees, you can see that basically there's a faint shimmering haze that exists between the trees, and on the other side you can see the same glade, but something about it is different. Almost as if you're looking through a you know how when you look through one-way glass and you can sort of see what's on the other side. It's sort of that sort of effect where you can vaguely tell that there is something else on the other side, but you can't tell what. Vondal and V, you recognize this as this is an elven waygate, which basically acts as a stable portal between this plane and the Feywild.
Cool.
Weird.
It's not weird, it's magic.
Just dig a hole in a mountain already. It's a great place to live.
Okay. So, yeah, basically you get there, and stationed basically in front of this the waygate is a number of sort of guards who wear sort of it's fairly reminiscent of the Wild Hunt Ranger garb, in the case of its thick leather armor with a couple of sort of like metal plates attached to it. But it's also very reminiscent of some of the clothing that Arya wears. And Arya, you know these are like the Eladrin Rangers that, had you finished your training, you would have joined the ranks of these individuals.
Yeah.
Yeah, these were the people that you aspired to be once, and they're basically standing guard on this side of the gate, and basically an elven official who seemed to be stationed with these guards sort of approaches you, like as a group, sort of acknowledges you, hails you, and asks you to state your business. Your parents state that we're travelling back, and then he looks to the rest of you and asks what your business is.
Mhm.
Great. Everybody look at Arya.
They're visiting us in the Feywild.
He nods and asks to see if you asks you to present your identification.
Oh, lovely.
What?
Do we have identification?
My what?
Oh, what now? Can we
What?
present the... Was it...
Oh, our medals?
Yeah, the medals that we got. Is that
Yeah,
good?
you can certainly present your medals.
Oh, there you go.
I don't like falling rank, but it's the only
I mean,
identification.
it's identification.
Yeah.
It is. There's only a few people who have them. and we
Yes.
have
Well, I say
identification.
Kelariis and V definitely have no identification. Vondal probably has identification, but it would be... You'd have to go through a long process. Yeah, sorry, they're not looking to you for identification.
Right, I figured they wouldn't be looking
Yeah.
at me, but...
Kind of helps with the ears and the pale
Yeah.
skin
And the eyes.
and the eyes. Yeah.
I've got ears.
She only got these eyes.
Yeah, but you don't look like a moon elf.
I'm tiny and currently still green-haired.
Yes. It's starting to go a little bit like orange.
I think it would go yellow first, wouldn't
Yeah.
it?
It has to go yellow through orange. I don't know.
And then like red or brown, like reddy brown.
Just goes to ginger.
Yes.
Become a ginger.
You are gradually becoming ginger.
All of a sudden you start getting wicked sunburn.
No.
Oh no.
Except there's no sun in autumn. But yes. Yeah, no, you guys like show your medals and they're sort of like, oh yeah, okay, we understand. Yeah, and yeah, with that they just sort of wave you through. They don't ask any more questions.
Okay, good.
And yeah, you guys step through the waygate. And out into a very similar forest, with the exception that again all of you have some sort of magical ability. Yes.
I hope so.
Yes.
I
I'm just
believe
making sure that everybody has some sort of magical ability before I describe it. Basically, as you step through, much like when you stepped into the demi-plane and you felt sort of an absence of your the flow of magic, this place has a flow of magic that is significantly richer than what you feel in the material plane. Yeah, because out of game comments, this is a positive plane. So whilst again you don't experience any sort of boost to your magic, it is easier in inverted commas to channel your positive magic here. Yeah, so you step through into the Feywild. You travel for another day or so, stopping at a wayside inn for rest. Everybody deduct 5 silver. But after traveling for about a day and a half, you find yourselves in approaching a village. Double check. That'll do this one. I like this one better. Yeah, you find yourselves approaching a village, Arya, which you recognise as your hometown of Levithyl.
Holy.
Oh.
It's so pretty.
I especially like the ominous evil face in that building on the right hand
Ignore that
side.
face.
What?
There is an evil face. in that
Yeah, it
building.
does look like an evil face, to be
Where?
fair.
That is an evil face.
That is a very evil face.
Like
Wow,
angry
okay.
eyebrows.
I mean, that is totally not how I saw it, but sure.
Angry eyebrows. It's got the evil grin. Squinting at us.
That's Arya's home.
That's my room,
Arya's room.
specifically.
I was thinking this one down here is Arya's house. I can't ping for some reason because I'm on the road at all. I
Wait,
was thinking
which-
down here is Arya's.
Oh. I mean, this is the face. It's just.
I love this one, which is just like above the fucking river.
Yeah.
It's like you walk outside. Whoops, sploosh.
Hope you
I
like
don't think
swimming.
there'd be any doors on that side.
I mean, yeah, there's no doors out above the river. There's like a bridge there that is quite clearly where you...
I'd walk out.
I mean, I imagine this is somebody's granny
I don't wanna
annex.
swim. Yeah,
Just like have a quick jump in the river, swim around.
yeah. It's a good
It's
diving
like
board, really.
when like every New Year there you have like this moment where they jump down into the river.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a thing. That's a point. Yeah, how deep is the river? Could you dive out of a window into the river without
It's
dying?
It's deep enough. It's not deep enough for you to sort of like dive into.
No.
Oh man, there goes that plan.
Ruining all the fun.
Anyway,
Some small child's probably got it.
so yeah, you approach this this village, and Arya, it's sort of an assault on the senses of reminders of home. It's the sights, the sounds, the smells, even the flowers. As these and these are probably of particular interest to UV. There are these massive purple flowers that they basically like spill out. They look quite small here, but like each one of these is sort of maybe like 3 or 4 feet wide.
Oh yeah, look at this flower in comparison to this door.
Yeah, they're huge flowers, and they have these weird sort of semi-transparent tendrils that just seem to like float in a non-existent breeze.
Guys,
and they are
guys,
fascinating to look
Avatar.
at.
Oh god.
Yeah. Are we all about to get really confused at the existence of a regular bear?
No.
Damn it.
But yeah, no, these flowers are of particular interest to UV. But Arya, you know these flowers. Always grow around your town at this time of year, and it just memories come flooding back. But yeah, the carriage draws up. Once on one side of a small footbridge. Your parents get out, grab their things, and they head across the bridge, and to a small wooden door, where they turn to you guys and basically say, "You're welcome to come inside. Please excuse the state of the house. We weren't expecting to have guests, but you're certainly welcome to come inside. Otherwise, feel free to sort of like look around town and come back when you want. I'm afraid we don't have room for all of you to stay, so you'll have to find somewhere to rest up, with the exception of Arya, because if you want, you can sleep in your old room."
Nice.
But yeah, they essentially give you... They invite you inside, but you can also politely decline and wander around town if you want.
I think V wants to wander around town.
Okay.
V just wants a flower. That's what
I
V
think
wants.
Yeah.
V is ready to explore the Feywild because she's heard so much about it from like her family and stuff, and now she's like, "I'm here."
Yep.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, Vondal's just like, Arya's hometown.
Yeah.
This is Arya's visit home. We'll let her decide what to do.
Well, you don't have to go with her. That's the point. Because she's probably gonna go inside and like, because she hasn't been home for a really long time.
But,
In 100 years.
Yeah, V's off.
Yeah.
okay,
Cool.
I thought I'll just go with me.
Yeah, you
I'll
could
wander.
keep an eye on V.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Make sure she doesn't get
Yeah.
into trouble.
I was gonna say, she got into trouble touching a tree. I don't want her to get in trouble for stealing a flower.
Okay.
Nah, I'm pretty sure these guys are way more chill about flowers.
Strange lands. You might break the law.
Screw the law, it's fine.
No, it's not fine.
Polaris!
Look!
Okay, hey, chaotic good.
Shush. Law. You never break the law in a strange land.
Look, V's not gonna do anything bad. If she takes a flower, it's fine.
Yeah.
What if it's
Well,
not fine?
Let's find out what V wants to do.
Is that like an actual question to me right now?
Yeah.
Probably just like, I don't know, like just like walk around town, just like do like a little bit of a stroll first, and just probably anything that grabs her attention.
Well, the thing that is most noticeable immediately is the flowers.
Okay, flowers time.
Yeah. Okay. So you just sort of walk up to the flowers. Yeah, they're really bizarre. Give me a nature check. Okay, that's not enough.
Oh,
You
I just
you've
smell them.
you have nothing like, never seen anything like this before. You smell them. The smell is difficult to describe. It's a flower that is very, like, it has a very strong, sweet aroma. But it's not so much a sense of pollen that you get as it is magic.
I've never been so suspicious of a flower.
I kind of want to like pick one, or like maybe like take some of its petals to, like, I don't know. Maybe it could be interesting.
Yeah, you can do that. Make me. I
Put
guess
it in my herbalism kit.
Yeah, it's good. You've got herbalism tools. Why don't you give me a roll?
Herbalism check roll thingy.
Yes. Oh wow, nice. Okay.
Oh shit.
The first thing you notice is the moment you reach out and touch this thing, it curls up like an anemone.
Oh my god.
It's a shy plant.
Oh.
And then
An anemone. But yeah, no, you thoroughly examine this thing and you find a way to sort of remove some of the petals from it without sort of damaging the plant. And with the deduction that you get, you feel like these plants don't photosynthesize. They magisynthesize. In that they take ambient magic from the atmosphere and expel it as concentrated magic in a different form.
Bullshit science, my dudes.
magic, because if science can't explain it, pretend
Well,
it's magic.
it takes
No,
carbon magoxide and turns it into magic.
Oh my.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Wow, carbon.
It's
dioxide.
It's like I'm trying to explain it in the way like photosynthesis, but not.
Well, I guess it just use magic instead of sunlight. So it's still doing carbon dioxide and water. It's just using magic to make it happen.
No, but
Yeah.
it's making magic though. Not...
Well, yeah, it's taking in magic and expelling magic in a different form.
Maybe the magic is just a reactant rather than a catalyst.
Mordenkainen's first law of magic: magic cannot be created or destroyed; it can only be converted.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Would it be possible for me to like plant it somewhere else, or like if I would take it to the material plane, could I be able to plant it? That'd be awesome.
With your herbalism check, you know that this thing would not survive in the kind of magic that the material plane has.
Sucks.
Yep.
This is a plant that can only survive in this environment.
What about her grove?
I don't think it's fey enough anymore. It used to be, but
Maybe it could be again.
I'm not sure how we're gonna make that happen.
The answer is, in theory, yes. You're not. The thing is, you're not sure how to create the circumstances that it could survive. That would be something that you'd have to like perform a series of scientific experiments to deduce. But you think it might be possible.
God, we should have brought Zane along. You could have scienced it for us.
This is not his area of expertise.
No, I don't think so. Either way, I have some of these in my herbalism kit now.
Yeah, you've got some petals that you've harvested, and I guess you take I don't know. I guess they would. Yeah, they would be seeding plants. So yeah, I guess you could take a couple of seeds because they are in bloom, which means they are capable of seeding. So, sure.
That's my inventory.
Yeah, just add. I don't actually know what they're called.
Feywild flower seeds.
Yeah, add Feywild flower seeds to your inventory.
Magisynthesizing seeds.
No, it's too long.
Yeah, I don't know what they would be called. I created them based off a plant that exists in the lore, but it's not the same plant, so I don't know what to call it. But yeah, no, you spend ages sort of like
Looking at flowers.
carefully taking from these like various different flowers and examining things and seeing how they work. And then you wander around town. You find like it's pretty much what you'd expect of an elven town, with the exception that it seems to just be much like when you went to Simondel, where everything was built around the trees. Everything is sort of here is built to sort of accommodate nature, and those of you who are used to sort of like dragonborn, dwarven, or human architecture, there are some areas where like obvious inefficiencies exist purely to accommodate things like streams and trees. Like there's in the center of what you expect roughly would be the center of town. This should be a commercial hub, but instead of being a commercial hub, there's just a small grove of trees that grows there and nobody's built anything there. And it seems like a whole bunch of wasted space. But being elves, you expect it's more a case of there's trees here so we can't build anything.
Good old elves.
I'm so surprised they didn't build something in the trees.
Well, they're not big enough to support anything. That's the thing.
One day.
Yeah. Unlike the giant trees surrounding you that are that do have things built into them. These are
I love
small
these trees.
Yeah, you're sort of the aesthetic is very much appeasing to you.
Not enough stone for my liking.
No.
In fact, there's none.
There is literally no stone. There is no
Not a stone in sight.
Dig a hole in the ground.
Dig a hole.
I'm sure there's some rocks in the river. Jump in there.
You'll sit on the rocks in the river.
I found my books.
Honestly, knowing elves, it's probably just dirt.
Also, I just noticed the birds for scale.
Oh yes, birds for scale.
Oh yeah. You can't see them; they're kind of hidden in the guard rays.
Yeah. But no, you wander around this town. You gather a lot of very, very odd looks.
Imagine.
Particularly, well, the three of you are very odd, but Kelariis and Vondal, you get a sort of oh, okay, who are these people? Sort of like never having seen a dragonborn or a dwarf before.
What are you?
V, you get a lot of sort of people doing double takes, presumably mistaking you for a dryad and going, wait, hold on a second.
That's not quite right.
What are you doing outside of a grove?
Yeah. But then they obviously take in the fact that you're sort of half elf and they're like, oh, okay, interesting.
Do we find anywhere we can stay?
Yes, there is a up high on one of the large trees. There is an open house sort of deal, which when you go there seems to be it seems to be sort of like an establishment that is used by traveling merchants, most of whom seem to be various elves, because you notice that most of the population here are Eladrin. But in the Traveller's Inn you find a number of high elves, a couple of wood elves, and one sort of human who seems to be sat with a bunch of wood elves. He is rather peculiar looking. He's got like a very sort of like tatty like set of travelling clothes. But the thing that is very out of place about him is he has a large red sash that he wears across his tatty clothes that seems to be way better kept than any of his clothes. But yeah, he is the only non-elf that you find in your entire circuit of the town.
Yeah, not really surprising.
No. But yeah, the innkeeper sort of looks at you, sort of like, "Oh, you must be outsiders. I presume you're looking for a place to stay." To which you nod in the affirmative, and he says, "Oh, we've got a couple of guest rooms. They might not be sort of what you material plane folk are used to, but you still find them comfortable." So yeah.
Considering we camped in the Shadowfell for several nights, I think we'll be
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Anything's ideal at this stage.
Yeah. Well, you expect from your if it's not built for sort of regular travelers, you expect what you'll find is you'll go there and there will be sort of no bed, because obviously in a place mostly populated by elves, you don't need sleep. They'll just have like a almost like a futon, so not a futon.
Nice
What's it called?
Like a Roman couch.
What's it called when you roll out like a thick bed thing on the floor? I can't remember.
It's called a futon, I think.
It is a futon, yeah.
We think of futons as like the things with the frames, but
yeah, but it's
they're
not.
also just the pads on the futons.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's basically like there'll be like a section of the room that is a futon, essentially. Much like Arya has at home.
Yay.
So yeah, presumably then you head back and meet up with Arya.
Sure.
Arya, you go home, sort of like take in the home. The house hasn't changed a lot. Like, sort of the furnishings have sort of been like the chairs have obviously like been taken care of and stuff, and there's like a whole bunch of like new ornaments and stuff. There's also a painting that now has pride of place in the sort of like the living room that you've never seen before, which is a fairly nice painting of your a painting of your mother and father sat by the side of a river, and sort of like your mother is almost like sort of like lying down on the side, and your father is like behind her with like an arm on her shoulder, and they're both sort of looking at something off center. It's a very like it's like, you know, if you've ever had like if your parents ever go and get like professional photos of themselves taken, it's basically like that, but it's a painting because there are no photos.
Wow.
It's a very nice painting though. But yeah, it's a painting of your father and mother in a suitably artistic style that now has pride of place in the living room. You can't remember what was there before, but you don't remember it ever being anything that caught your attention. So it's just sort of like, oh, that's a new painting.
That's a thing.
Yeah, you also your parents sort of like show you around the rest of the rooms. Like your parents' room still seems to somehow have stayed the same, even though there's like a new cabinet in there. Like everything seems to be sort of like roughly as you remember it. With the exception of the room off to the side of your parents' bedroom, which used to be your father's writing room, but is now a bedroom for your brother. Yeah, the rest of the house seems fairly similar. And then they come to like the last door that you know was your room. And basically from one of the cupboards, your father produces a key and says we haven't touched it since you left.
Shit must be dusty.
Yeah, it
Right.
would. Seriously.
Yeah.
Open the door. Immediately start coughing.
Yeah, I guess I open up
Cool.
my
Yeah.
room.
It is exactly as you remember leaving it. except for the thick layer of dust.
Do I still have all my angsty teenage boy band posters up on the walls?
Oh.
Does the Feywild have angsty teenage boy bands?
I hope they do.
I mean, angsty Eladrin bards, do they exist?
I mean, you do have some what at the time would have been considered popular culture, like posters. Not really posters, but sort of like, I guess they are posters, really.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Whether
they're not
it's
sort of like the
posters.
mass-produced posters, though. They're like an artwork that somebody has done.
Right. They're nicer quality than
Yeah.
the shitty.
Yeah, it's not like a just like a double-page spread that you've ripped out of Kerrang.
Wow.
You can tell what I had on my walls.
Yep. Same.
Still have like somewhere a poster of like Angela Gosso on my wall. Well, it's not on my wall anymore. It's in a drawer.
Shame.
Anyway. Yeah, everything is pretty much untouched. Give me a perception check.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, everything is exactly as you remember leaving it, including a smashed glass ornament in one corner of the room,
Oh dear.
which you remember throwing in a particularly demanding rage.
Yeah.
During one of your temper tantrums.
I mean, her best friend had literally just been murdered.
Yeah, I mean, I give her a pass.
But yeah, there's shattered glass ornament in the corner of the room. You also notice that one of the set of drawers next to your sleeping area, one of the drawers is jammed open by a like what looks like the edge of a small drawing canvas, which you don't remember that at all.
The fuck? Can I go see what the hell's going on?
Yeah,
With that?
your parents sort of like leave you to sort of like look around. You pull the drawer open and take the canvas out, and it's like the edge of the canvas is sort of like bent and like a little bit sort of snapped. And it's as soon as you take it out, you remember it, and you remember it once having sort of like pride of place on your bedside table. And it is a fairly respectable quality painting that Alwyn did of the two of you holding your bow, and like both of you have your bow held by your side, and you're both smiling. And at the bottom it says Arya and Alwyn, Rangers Forever.
Oh, guys, we're so cute.
Yeah.
Too bad he's dead.
God damn it.
So that's so casually, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, you like the moment you take it out, you remember sort of like seeing it on your bedside one night and just sort of like sticking it in there and just slamming the drawer and just forgetting about it. But yeah.
Well, that's sad.
And as you look at it, you realise that in the bottom corner where Alwyn's signature is, there's a little heart next to it that you never noticed before.
Wow.
That's cute, but also, oh my god, can't believe it.
Are we really surprised though?
Nope. Well, aside from the whole Arya smiling thing.
Look, I was happy once.
This was back before she was an edgelord.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So this is just a phase that you're gonna grow out of.
Yeah.
It's
So
not a face.
it's not a phase, Dad. Yeah, no, you spend some time sort of like dusting the room, and you like pick up the broken ornament. By which point your companions come back.
Are we going to embarrass her by looking at her room, or?
I mean,
we-
Well,
all
that
just
depends
need
if
to
she
prepare.
closes the door and locks it behind her when she hears you arrive.
I guess I'll close it. I probably won't lock it.
Okay.
So you guys want to barge into my fucking bedroom?
Yeah.
We're totally the
There's
type to do that.
feelings in here. You haven't unlocked her backstory yet.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you all have unlocked the backstory. at this
Yeah.
point, but
Not this backstory.
Cool. So
not this backstory.
yeah, your parents sort of like invite you all to sit down and have a meal. They like offer you what they have to drink, which actually is not a huge selection because they're not big drinkers.
They have a small child.
Yeah. So no, they do you a meal, offer you stuff to drink. It's generally all around sort of like quite a nice affair. You do sort of like have to cram in around this tiny table, which is kind of tricky at times. But no, you enjoy a nice meal together, a nice time. Yeah, and there's some time in the evening to sort of like sit and chat. If you want to have a chat, like in character, or you can just go back to room and sleep.
So yeah, us chatting.
More likely than you think.
Well, you've got stuff that you can talk about if you want to. Otherwise, you can just
Look at my flowers.
pass it with idle conversation and skip. The question is, do you want to have in-character interactions or no? Now is an opportunity to have some.
Clearly not.
I'll take that as a pass.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, you guys go back to the inn to rest. Arya, you go to your room. Yeah, when you're shown to your rooms, everybody deduct 5 silver, except for Arya.
Except me. I hope my parents aren't forcing me to pay rent. That'd be kind
No.
of shitty.
Oh, welcome home. Pay us rent.
I'm only for like 1 day. Too bad.
Yeah, so
You're back under our roof. You'll pull your weight.
so you
You
guys
get a job.
who are in the inn. Yeah, you guys who are in the inn. Yeah, it is sort of like a futon case where there's no bed. There's just a soft area of floor. Which isn't really an issue for you, most of you who are used to sleeping on bedrolls, and those of you who are literally used to just sleeping in the dirt.
God, it's a good thing
I
we're
like sleeping in
adventurers,
dirt.
Otherwise, this would be
Yeah.
the worst inn ever.
I like sleeping in dirt.
What?
Kobe.
You dissing on my culture?
She is literally
No.
half plant.
I know.
It is
she-
such a I like sleeping in dirt. I'm waiting for the moment you say something like that around someone who doesn't quite twig the whole dryad thing.
Yeah.
And just think, wow, this is one sad, depraved child.
Taking a dirt nap has a whole new meaning for dryads. But yeah, no. So you guys all have a long rest, and I guess Arya, you sort of wake up with the rest of your family way earlier than any of your comrades would wake up.
At like 4 in the morning.
Yeah, pretty much. And you're like, right, yeah, okay, time to go do stuff. Like, you have some breakfast with your family, walk out the front door, and sort of you sort of wander around town, and you're sort of like, man, I kind of missed home. And just as you are coming close to the tavern, and this wakes the rest of you, you hear fairly close by the sound of a horn being blown and some shouting.
Oh shit! I don't think it's that kind of horn.
No, it's like a doot doot doot.
No, it's an air horn.
That's really
Clan
loud.
horn.
I was expecting it to be like a danger call, and I was like, "Well, shit, here we go, guys."
Well, it kind of is.
Oh,
It's like it is a horn being blown as an alert to something. So what do you guys do? How do you react?
We're waking up. Ah, quick armor.
Takes you 10 minutes.
God,
Yeah, exactly.
we don't have time. We might not have time.
Fine. At least I've got the shield. At least I have 12 armor class, not
Okay,
11.
you grab the shield.
Run downstairs. Downstairs? Yeah, you know.
Well, yeah, you have to go quite a lot downstairs. You have to get out of a tree.
Jump
I
into the
fucking-
river. I don't do that. I'm just
Come
kidding.
on, let's
don't
go!
do that.
Feather fall down!
Go. Maximum
Just
efficiency.
jump off the fucking roof and they're like, what is going on?
We heard a horn.
Fucking, we're going back into like SWAT team and just like, go,
Yeah.
go!
You,
You have
Super
no idea what this
terrified,
horn means.
Anything that could be dangerous
Yeah.
is put all on edge.
I know. Well, like we probably
no.
didn't even get.
this is just
proper
Shadowfell
threat.
PTSD kicking in.
Exactly.
God.
Exactly. Oh, fucking hell.
No, I guess we just walk down like normal people.
Yeah, you sort of
Like
you
normal humans that do things.
those
Normal
of
humans.
those of you who are militarily trained before going down immediately grab shield and sword because that's what you're used to.
Yeah.
Um,
Scramble.
yeah.
It's an
But yeah,
F4
you all head downstairs to sort of see what's going on.
He just like
Um,
casually walks downstairs, like, hey guys, what's up?
scramble. We're like,
So like, who's blowing a horn? Like rubbing your eyes.
who's horning?
Yeah.
Who's been blowing all night long?
But yeah, so Arya, you see the signs of your companions just ahead of you, and you run up to them. And you walk ahead a short distance, and there are a number of civilians sort of like walking away from where you guys are headed. And they don't look like they're like in any particular hurry. They look sort of concerned, but there's no like sort of mass panic or anything.
Well, that's good. Do I know what the horn means?
You know it sounds like a guard horn, like it is like an alert horn. But you're not sure exactly what it means. Like it's like
Right.
it's like the stereotypical
It
like
just
policeman blowing his whistle. Like it means something's going on, but you don't know what's going on. Like it's a call for I need people to come and help me.
Right.
Not particularly aimed at you, but
No.
you decide to investigate nonetheless. But you come around a corner into a patch of a cluster of houses that is close to the edge of town. And you see basically a number of Eladrin rangers who are sort of they seem to be sort of like shepherding people away from like the scene. They're sort of like go on, just move along. You can we'll have this resolved momentarily. And there's also a couple of guards sort of standing off to one side who seem to have sort of like they've got bows at the ready but not drawn. I guess everybody give me a perception check.
Nope.
Nope.
Definitely not.
Nope.
Okay.
Oh my god.
You sort
Oh
of
God, having that wisdom buff has done nothing so far.
most of you are more interested in sort of like taking in the scene and looking at like the civilians and the guards. V, you can hear what sounds like almost like a low howling or whining.
Who the fuck?
I guess Lyra would pick up on this as well.
Oh, that's true.
But yeah, Lyra seems interested in what's going on beyond the guards that have got their bows drawn. Or not drawn.
Ready.
Their arrows knocked. But one of the guards slash rangers, they notice you, Arya, and they seem to be like think to themselves for a moment, and then sort of make a sort of like a beckoning gesture for you to come over.
Okay. Yes, I do that.
Yeah, so you approach this guy who also calls over another guard. They look to one another and say in Sylvan to you, you're a ranger, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
I am.
Do you have any experience with direwolves?
I have experience with regular wolves.
Well, you have experience with direwolves as well. You've met them before.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've had a werewolf as well.
Yeah.
And werewolves.
Yeah.
But
All
yeah.
the wolves.
So
Not a werebear though.
they indicate to you the area beyond where the guys are standing with the knocked arrows, and they say there's a direwolf out there who's acting strange, sort of aggressive, but not in any sort of usual way. They're also far closer to town than they've ever been. They're never usually this close. They're normally quite wary of civilization. We've not had any luck trying to sort of deduce what's wrong with it. Perhaps you can do us a favour.
What, they want me to kill it?
Well, they want you to find out what's wrong with it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Calm the wolf.
We have someone who can literally talk to animals, so...
Hello. I could probably as well liberate what they just said to Arya. So,
well, if you're standing right next to them, you understand their language.
Oh, okay. I thought
They're
they like,
speaking in Sylvan.
Yeah.
walked away. Okay, fine.
Oh, she
yeah.
she didn't walk very far, and I assume that you sort of stay behind
Yeah.
her.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Yeah. So you guys approach. I'm gonna take you, I think, to the battle map for this.
Battle map? I don't want to fight a direwolf.
You'd better resolve it peacefully then.
Okay.
I
Battle
haven't.
map doesn't necessarily mean death.
You guys are sort of like shuffled about it. You can sort yourselves out if you want.
That thing does look quite scary, though.
Yeah, it's a direwolf.
Direwolves are big.
Yes.
I know. I wanted one as a ranger companion, but Rob said it was too OP.
Yeah,
they're too big.
they're CR1, so they're too
Yeah.
big for ranger companions.
They're too big size-wise, and they have too high a challenge rating.
Yes.
'Cause they're
But I
not medium one. As
I
you can
want
tell,
to
they are
ride
not
one
medium
into
size.
battle.
Well,
I mean, if you somehow get your hands on Summon Greater Steed, then you actually can.
Oh, yeah.
oh, shit.
But yeah, it
Gonna hunt us
is
down.
it is
Mark my wolf.
it is standing there, and it seems to almost be sort of like it's like snapping at the air occasionally, like growling and whining and acting in a way that is very strange for a direwolf.
Does it look like it's like acting like aggressively or more like defensively?
Give me a nature check.
Is that nature? Isn't that like animal handling or like insight?
Well, because I'm assessing what you know of direwolf behavior. You're not trying to actually interact with it.
Just kidding, I rolled a
Yeah.
19.
This thing is both it is trying to defend itself, but it's also angered. Also with that high of a nature roll, you can also assess it appears to be wounded.
Ooh.
Yeah, it definitely seems to be aggressive, but it isn't necessarily aggressive towards the citizens.
Hmm.
It's aggressive at something, and it's snapping at the air as if it's trying to ward something off.
Okay. That's very odd.
It is odd.
Why doesn't V try talking to it?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Talk to the wolf.
Sure.
Talk to the wolf. Guess I just say something like excuse me,
Ma'am.
ma'am.
With your nature check, you know it's a male wolf.
Okay. Sir.
Sir.
Excuse me, sir. Sir.
Sir, please.
Sir.
What is frustrating you, or what are you aggravated by?
It sort of it turns its attention to you, but it's very much sort of like while it has its attention on you, it's constantly like checking to see if anything's like sneaking up on it. And he says bad things are hiding, gnashing, biting, pointy things. They're all around us.
Around us. Okay. Where did these things come from?
Well, I guess at first he says I don't know, and then he sort of says, actually no, the stone tower, the big stone tower, and as you are watching, give me a perception check.
All of us?
Yeah, everyone can roll it.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh, thank God, fine.
Arya, you're actually the only person who notices this.
Wow.
As you are watching, something does indeed seem to open a small wound in the wolf's hide, and it leaps around and gnashes at whatever is attacking it unsuccessfully. It definitely appears to be being attacked by something unseen.
Well, that's better than it being crazy, which would be bad.
Yeah, I guess I just sort of take a moment to explain what the wolf said.
Yeah.
And I mentioned the wound that I saw open.
Yeah.
Do I know of any stone towers around here?
No, none that you remember.
I guess ask it where the stone tower is.
Yeah, can you point me into the direction of the stone tower?
It sort of says, now is not the time. Must deal with the biting things, the stinging things. Help me, and I will show you.
Okay. Guess we're gonna fight an unseen enemy.
Do we have anything that could, like, I don't know, if maybe it's like it's either very fast or it's invisible, right?
Right.
Or it blinks out of existence. So
I was just gonna stand near the wolf and spirit guardians.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's definitely one thing to do.
Because obviously I can make us all immune.
alright. It's
I mean,
worth a try.
I guess there's no like AoE spells really we could do that like hurt
Try
the
to
wolf.
throw
as
water
well.
everywhere.
Well, yeah. This is why I'm doing spirit guardians, because I can make it not hurt the wolf.
Yeah, you could also try throwing water around. All of those are things that you can try.
I think Vondal's idea is good.
Yeah.
Okay. Vondal.
I'll tell the wolf that Vondal is a good person.
Okay. Give
Yeah,
me
wasn't walking very
a
slowly, with the hammer away.
give me a persuasion check.
Me?
Yes. You can have advantage as well.
Oh yes.
It trusts you because it can understand you.
Aw.
Yep. Cool. Yeah. It seems to agree with your plan.
Nice.
Nice, I'm casting spell.
Vondal, as you get within 15 feet of it, something tries to attack you. That's
Oh shit. Typical, the first fight I get into after spending all that money on armor, and it's only done me 1 AC advantage.
Oh,
I don't have any upgrades.
actually,
Don't have
I
armor.
forgot to mention that when the creature attacks, it momentarily loses its invisibility, and actually, Arya, you do see what it looks like.
Mon ami.
It does look like a strange green, or like it almost looks like a sort of wingless sprite with a really strange bug-eyed face.
Is it a
Rather like the thing that swoops towards Vondal and attempts to attack him the moment he gets within 15 feet. I'd like everybody to roll initiative.
Huzzah!
Okay.
That's really creepy looking.
It is very creepy looking.
Oh, what the fuck?
Wow, those are
Arya.
2 really terrible rolls.
Yeah, they really fucking are.
Okay, still going before me.
Shit.
I rolled an 8.
Oh!
Nice, Lara.
Lyra's just getting in there showing me the fuck up.
This is the battle music.
That just says it all, really, doesn't it?
Well, that's
I
good
rolled-
because it means Lyra gets to do her attack and then get the bonus.
The bonus attack.
Why don't my battle music?
No, I just like the I just like that I rolled literally double on the dice of Arya, and yet Arya's still going first in the initiative order. That's just Vondal in a nutshell.
He tries, though.
Okay, so I need to roll these
does his
things
best
in
with
initiative order as well because that would actually help.
He does his best with -1 dex.
Oh.
But hey, I've got the same AC as Kelariis when armorless now.
Heyo.
Yes, you have.
Woohoo!
Yeah, because you've got +1 shield.
Hold on, I have to reload roll 20 because it's glitching the fuck out.
Okay. Cool. Well, Lyra gets to go first the moment you go back in, so.
Yeah.
I don't think these things can fly. No, they can't. So yeah, this thing like runs at Vondal's ankle, and actually it will get an attack before because it attacked from stealth, so it gets a surprise attack, which it has advantage on.
Sneaky fucker.
What is your AC? 12.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, it hits you.
We should really go put on armor before we go to the stone.
Can you
tower.
make me
But
a
it
Constitution
takes, like,
saving
10
throw,
minutes.
please?
Hmm?
Can you make me a Constitution saving throw? Okay,
Hmm.
that is still a pass.
Oh shit.
You take 5 piercing damage as this thing bites you in the ankle.
Ow.
What a shit. Okay.
How much piercing,
Lyra's
sorry?
gonna run up.
5.
Just ow, my ankle.
Rah.
Okay, give me an attack.
Hmm.
Okay. The thing uses its extraordinary speed to like dance underneath Lyra's bite. Everybody, give me a perception check.
It disappears.
Oh shit.
Gosh.
It does not disappear.
Okay.
Vondal, however, you notice as in the area surrounding you, what you thought were previously frogs
Oh no.
transform into more of the creatures.
Oh.
Oh
Little
boy.
shits.
Also, as this happens, 3 more invisible creatures shimmer into existence around the wolf.
Oh, shit.
And they are going to. Two of them are going to attack the wall. Going to attack. Oh.
No.
1, 2, 7.
Ah, shit. Oh, that's fine.
Okay. And they are all going to attack. 2, 6. 2 against the wolf hit.
I think that wolf currently has a better armor class than Vondal and I do.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure it does.
Yeah, it
It's
definitely does.
like it gets ripped into by these creatures. It needs to make a con save. 1 pass, 2 pass. It does not look in a good way. It looks very wounded.
No, wolf.
No.
2 of them attack Vondal. A 6 does not hit you. Oh wait, technically they have advantage because they are flanking, so they actually do both hit.
Yep.
2 con saving throws, please.
I'm gonna fail that con save, my dudes. If it hits me.
Shit, son.
Those are both passes. Take 14 piercing.
Roger.
As these things start like attacking you with their claws. It hits you.
Yay.
Con save.
Whew.
You pass.
Nice.
Take 6 piercing. And Kelariis. Con save.
Okay.
Pass. 7 piercing. You've taken 1/10 of your hit points.
Great.
I'm glad.
Glad you guys didn't put on your armor.
Kelariis.
Alrighty. Well, this thing in front of me. Let's take some swings.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Okay.
Hits. I hope.
Yep, that hits.
No.
Cool. You hit into it, and the sword goes. Like, you expect more resistance than you get from the swing, and basically you hit this creature, and it begins to just spurt black ichor before disintegrating with a sulfurous smell.
Oh.
Shit.
Okay. I'm gonna run over to the other one and go and hit that too,
Okay.
maybe. Hopefully.
Are these guys fiends, perchance?
Give me an Arcana check.
Oh, that sucks.
That
double
is not a hit. It ducks underneath the swing. You have no idea.
Okay, great.
Wait, hang on. What are your preferred enemies?
My preferred enemy are somewhere.
Because I can't remember what benefits you get from having a preferred enemy.
Monstrosities and fiends.
Do you get advantage on intelligence checks made?
Okay,
to information about
so
them?
yes, you do know that this is a fiend. It is a quasit.
Oh.
Okay, V.
I'm just gonna magic missile the guy in the back.
Okay.
Stop attacking our wolf friend. Level 1 or level 2? Let's try level 1.
Cool.
Woo.
3 bolts of force fly out, and they collapse together, squashing the quasit in a puff of black ichor.
Yeah, fuck you.
Woohoo.
Arya.
I am going to shoot it. Or, shoot it. Shoot,
Shoot what?
this one.
Okay.
The one by the dire wolf. Pew! Aww. But I have advantage, I think.
No, I think you just get +4 from your
Oh, fuck.
thing. So yeah, that's not enough to hit. You can make Leary do a bonus attack with the thingy, though.
Yeah, she's gonna get that one in front of her.
Cool. Roll me some damage. Cool. Lyra bites into the closet and shakes it until it disappears. Vondal.
Okay.
Please kill the one attacking the wolf so it doesn't die.
Well, I think.
Oh
Well,
shit! I actually forgot to roll the wolf into the initiative order. Oops.
Oh. Oh, poor wolf.
Dire.
Can't
Dire
even
wolf.
can't even defend itself.
Well, it would defend itself. That's the point. Wow. Yeah, it rolled garbage on its initiative, so that makes perfect sense.
Alright. This thing, looking at the situation around, and, you know, what's actually happened, with how easy things are to kill, I want to try and hit the one next to me first.
Okay.
I'm going to channel divinity that.
You can channel divinity that. Okay, that's a hit.
Plus 10. Just in case.
Yeah. You're just like, Torm,
Also,
give
on
me
the
strength!
2d8 damage!
Yeah. Bring the hammer down. Splot.
Lovely. And I'm actually going to cast... because I believe... I'm going to cast Healing Word, because it's only a bonus action.
Okay.
On the
Healing
wolf.
there?
Healing word. On the
Healing
wolf.
Word, second level on the dire wolf.
Cool, so that's...
Still don't know why it rolls
10.
that twice.
No, I don't know either. Let's have a look at your sheet and see if I can fix that. Because I'm pretty
Yes, you roll
sure...
it with advantage.
I'm pretty sure I realise why it does that now.
Because also the second one isn't even rolling with the +4.
Let us edit
Or the
your
extra.
healing word spell. Ah, yes. Okay,
So it's-
so... Yeah, okay, it just has the damage... It had it twice. It had it once as damage
Oh,
healing
yeah,
and
yeah.
once as healing.
Yeah. Oh, that's weird.
That's why I was doing it twice. Okay, that should be fixed now.
Perfect.
Now the wolf gets a turn.
10 health for the wolf.
Yeah, I've already done it. Cool, it's going to try and bite the Quasit. It misses. Lyra.
Okay, she's gonna bite the one next to her again.
No, she's
Or
not,
no,
because it's
she's
dead.
gonna run up there and bite this one. Just kidding.
Yeah, don't bite the dead one.
Cool. Yeah, Lyra drags another one to pieces.
Good girl.
The remaining Quasit is... it's going to use its special ability. V, can you make me a wisdom saving throw, please?
Yeah.
Okay,
Woo!
passed. It does nothing.
That's right.
It attempts to it makes a threatening face position, which is it's a tiny creature, by the way, so it's only like a couple of inches tall.
It's kind of cute in a way.
Yeah, it tries to look threatening, but you also feel a magic like in the back of your mind try to make it seem more intimidating, but you shrug it off. Kelariis.
Alrighty. Sword swings.
Okay. That's a hit.
That does? Okay.
Cool. Yeah, you paste this one as well. Cool.
Woo.
Yeah, and with that, the Quasits are defeated.
Makes sense now why the wolf couldn't fucking hit them.
Yep.
Yep.
Teeny tiny.
Yeah.
Also, they were just flying up to it, attacking it with advantage from stealth, and then stealthing away again.
Little shits.
Shits indeed.
Yeah, there were also 6 of them, so it was
Yeah.
not having a good time.
We saved the wolf.
Yeah,
A
so
really, really big wolf.
the crowd of like guards on look like they're like basically like in the process of drawing weapons, but by the time they've drawn weapons, you've already disposed of all of these Quasits. and yeah, and the wolf sort of just like nod, like it seems to almost like bow its head towards V, which is somewhat strange behavior for a wolf, but around V, nothing is normal.
Hello.
And yeah, it sort of it nods its head and thanks you for the assistance. And it basically says it was hoping that if it ran into the village, the elves would deal with the quasits, but it just seemed like they didn't really understand and it couldn't communicate. So it was fortunate that you came by, because otherwise it would have been in trouble.
Yeah, I'm glad we helped the wolf out.
Well, add Direwolf to the list of people we've saved.
So where's the stone tower then?
Yeah, it nods and sort of like indicates a direction with its head. It says they are this way. You should come along.
Okay. Can I ask the guards if the stone tower has been there for a while? Because obviously Arya hasn't.
Yes.
Has been away for a while.
You ask the guards about the stone tower, and they exchange a look, and they basically nod and say yes, we know about a stone tower. It was erected recently by a wizard. He was an odd one, that wizard. He was a traveler on a human trading. Well, he was a human traveler on a trading mission, and he came with he wanted to secure some space to try some new magic. We initially were tempted to decline. We weren't fond of the idea of humans practicing magic here in our realm, but he made a rather generous donation to the town, and we felt it would have been rude to deny him once he'd already given us such a huge contribution. He didn't seem to cause any problems. And he would turn up every now and again for supplies, but he now hasn't been seen for quite some time, probably about a month and a half. They assumed that he'd just gotten bored and moved on, but if something's going on over there, they are quite concerned, and they want to hold a meeting to see what to do about it.
Maybe something happened to him.
Perhaps.
Spooky.
Poopy.
Are we allowed to check
Scary
it out?
stone towers.
We can hardly stop you.
Can we get up first?
Yeah, I was gonna say we should probably let people put on armor and stuff.
Yeah, but I'm just asking. No, maybe they want to do stuff themselves.
Well, they communicate to you that they will probably have to report it to their superiors, who will have to discuss it with the town.
Bureaucracy crap.
Well, yeah. They have to obey some rules. There's nothing they can do to stop you going in the meantime, but if you go, it's on your own head. But having seen you deal with those quasits in literally 12 seconds, they're just like, yeah, we think you can maybe, like, I think you can look out for yourselves in the forest.
In 12 seconds.
It costs
You literally killed...
$400,000.
You literally
Killing
killed
these
6
quasits.
lesser demons in 12 seconds, so...
Screw you, lesser demons.
That's fine.
Sorry, lesser devils, not lesser...
Oh, lesser devils, sorry.
Important difference.
Get their names right, jeez.
Alright, you put some more like, armory stuff on, and
Yeah.
we'll wait for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
The wolf agrees to wait until your companions are ready.
Allow us to take 10 minutes to get up to 20 armor class.
Right?
Oh my god.
Boom!
Yeah, you guys put your gear on.
But do you have less armor class than I do when you don't have the armor?
I mean,
Oh,
I've
yeah.
got 12.
Yeah, I got 15.
I used to have 11 before I got a magic shield.
Who knew? If you can't harness protective magics to defend yourself, then turns out you're pretty
Shield.
squishy.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's almost
Turns
like
out
that was
fle-
the
turns out
exact
flesh-
purpose they were invented for.
It's almost like flesh is really squishy and kind of vulnerable.
Ew.
I mean, the only person who would be like more vulnerable would be Arya without her armor class, but
Yeah.
she
But I have
basically
some
sleeps in her
sweet
armor.
armor.
Actually, she would still technically have more armor than Vondal because of your dexterity modifier.
Haha.
Holy shit.
So basically, Vondal Armorless is the lowest AC we will ever get in a party.
Yes, at 9 AC.
Because I have -1 dex. Ah, good
Cool.
times.
Yeah, you guys armor up. You got plenty of time to do that.
I need armor.
Yeah, and then once you are armored up, you follow the wolf.
We've been on stranger adventures.
Yes. He leads you a short distance through. Well, I say a short distance. You probably walk for maybe an hour through the forest. Before. Get this track again. You come across the strange tower that was mentioned.
Oh,
Oh, finally, something actually made of stone.
that's pretty.
Yes. Basically set at the edge of a sort of a cliff that, well, it's a short cliff that probably plunges down maybe like maybe 70 feet, something like that. Is a tower. But it's got a very ornate style to it, and some of the architecture on it seems a little bit odd. Like some of the architecture, you're not sure really how it supports itself, but being a wizard's tower, you expect that magic may or may not have a hand in how it works. As you approach the tower, however, I would like all of you to give me perception checks.
Nope. That's a 2 and a 1.
Arya?
Come on. Yeah, it's taking forever to load. Oh,
Okay.
fuck.
That's performance.
That's performance.
That's
performance.
performance.
There we go. That's better.
That's better.
Jeez.
Okay.
Or just roll dance.
So, doing my perception dance.
It worked.
It
It
did.
did work.
Yeah.
did.
So,
Congratulations on your perception. The dance itself was kind of crap.
as you approach
Wow.
the small space before the tower, Arya, however, you notice that there is already a figure here, who basically he is standing there and reading a book. And on that note, we will take a brief break so that I can get a drink.